guess how excited are you to get the season going?
I'm really ready to get going. It's been a long preseason camp, a longer one. Depends on the way the calendar falls. Some years our two-a-days are longer than they are in other years, and this has been a long camp with an experienced team, and sometimes that's pretty rough. You know, it gets a little bit old and stale, you know, going against each other every day. And but we got a lot of exciting things going on, and we're definitely looking forward to getting started.
We talked a lot last year about complacency. It never seemed to be an issue. I can't imagine it will be this year.
Well, we're going to try to make sure that it's not. It's something I fight every day. It's something on my mind every night when I go to sleep, because we do have a talented group, and you know, a lot of nights we're going to be favored going in, but we did a great job managing that last year, and it's going to be one of the real challenges for this team as the year goes along, although it shouldn't be much of an issue in the first 3 or 4 weeks with the schedule that we have in front of us.
How big of a benefit is it for you guys to start number 21 in the country, you know, where you've already kind of got a good head start toward, you know, the goals that you obviously want to start?
Yeah, being preseason top 25 for the first time has been great for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's been great publicity for our program. It's been great in terms of recruiting and hopefully drawing attention, you know, from the community. But you know, it's like I talked to our team about. Our ultimate goal is to be back there at the end. You know, being ranked early really doesn't serve a lot of benefit other than the media hype, you know, that goes along with it. And you know, yeah, we're ranked 21st in the country, but in the first 10 days of the season, we're playing 4 teams that are ranked above us. And so, you know, we could play awfully well for the first couple of weeks and be sitting at 500 overall. And so, you know, that ranking will fluctuate. And as I told our team, I'm not worried about whether or not we stay ranked in the first 3-4 weeks of the season. I'm worried about where we are at the end.
Yeah, USC, Purdue, Ohio State. What are you looking to get out of those games?
Well, we're looking to find out where we can get better, and you know, based on last year, we beat Dayton here on our home court when they were number 10 in the country. We beat a Michigan team that ended up in the Final Four last year, and so our kids know that we can play, in matches of those caliber, but at the same time. I don't think they'll define us. I don't think these first few weeks will define us either way. I think if they go really well, we've still got a lot of work to do. We got to find ways to get better. And if we struggle, I think that sometimes from those struggles you get a lot better. And so I guess I'm a little calmer than I normally am, because I really feel like either way it goes, we will benefit in the long run from having played those, and that's all you can really ask with your pre-conference schedule.
What does having a defender like Ashley Potts mean to the team?
Well, again, I talk about not being real nervous going into the season, and Ashley Potts is a kid that'll calm those nerves in a coach, because she is a terrifically talented kid. There's no question. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And she's a supremely talented player on the court, but what you love about her as a coach more than anything else is what you're getting every night. You know that she's going to be there emotionally. You know that she's going to be there in terms of competitiveness, and obviously the skills there, and she knows what she needs to do as a player. But she's a counter. I talk to our players all the time about being a counter, and Ashley Potts is a counter. She's a kid is going to show up and be a factor in a match night in, night out.
How big of a hit did the conference take with some of the departures from last year, and how much does that, if at all, impact what you guys need to do out of conference?
A lot. That's a great question. Realistically, if you look, over the past 4 or 5 years, if you had to pick the top 4 teams in the Sun Belt Conference in the last 5 years, you'd pick Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, North Texas, and FIU. And North Texas, FIU, and Middle Tennessee are not in the league this year. And so I think it widens that gap a little bit in terms of the top half of the conference. But, I think there's a couple teams that are still quite capable of winning a championship, this year in the Sun Belt Conference. And it does put, I think, a tremendous amount more pressure, because, last year we didn't get a lot of help when we got into league play in terms of RPI as it was. And to be honest, I think that's only going to widen this year. And so that's why we're playing what looks insane on paper, the schedule we're playing in the first 4 weeks. That's why we had to do it, Jeff. We had to do it to give ourselves a chance, RPI-wise, to give ourselves a chance. You always hear people talking about, who do they play at the end, and we can't give them that argument against us come tournament time if we're looking at an at-large situation. And you can't argue the schedule that we're putting in front of our kids, and we have to do it. And so even if it doesn't go great and we're sitting around 500, it's still the right thing to have done after 4 weeks to give ourselves a chance.